Hi, welcome to Note 6. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some of the different presets that you can have for Illustrator in terms of dimensions that you can use for like a postcard, which is one of the assignments today. Before we get into that, I do want to show you how cartoons have evolved throughout the years, and part of the reason I want you to do that is look at how basic they are when you first start, and then how they've kind of gotten a little bit more detailed and a little bit smoother and a little bit more polished as they go on through the years. And the reason I'm showing that is to so hopefully you won't be too critical like I tend to be when I'm making anything. I tend to get a little bit too perfectionist. And if you look at some of the old Simpsons that was from the Tracy Ullman show to now the Simpsons when they have their own show, it's a totally different look. These much better in my opinion. But these are kind of kind of scary right now. But just the way things have evolved. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump over to Illustrator. And so I'm going to use a different preset right here, and it's going to be Postcard. I'm going to click on it, and it goes right in. Now I could do File New, and I have Postcard right here, and I could go to, and then that way I could create one with two. So, if you're forgetting to do two artboards, you might want to just set the default to two, and then you don't have to worry about it. Now, the one thing I do want to do is I want to click on my artboard tool. And the reason I'm doing that is I usually don't see postcards looking like that, but I do see them looking more like that. So that's why I wanted to show you that. And today what we're going to do is we're going to be playing around with symbols. Well, this is the icon for symbol, or you could go to Window all the way down here to Symbols, or if you remember this, Shift Control F11. Well, I don't know about you, but I think that's too hard. I think just clicking right here for a symbol is much easier. Now you look at this and you say, man, that's kind of a waste of my time using these silly little symbols. I don't know why Illustrator does that. They should have an option where they say current symbols and then symbols library. But what you have to do is you have to go through in here and find each one. Well, the two that I'm going to play with is under Grime. Let's see, Grime Vector Pack. I'm going to grab some blood. Actually, it looks like grease right now because it's black, but we're going to make it blood. And then the next one I'm going to use is Regal Vector Pack. And I'm going to play with those wings. Now, if I was you, I would go through here and I would just spend time going through each one of these at a time, because it's amazing some of the stuff. And all you have to do to take a look at it is just click and drag it over here. And sometimes they're sized very appropriately and sometimes they're not. Now the thing I want you to realize is once you've done that, if you are using a symbol, it will save that symbol in here, assuming that you may want to use it more often. Well, I'm going to close. Well, let's go some more. What the heck? I was going to close them, but we'll come back to these in a bit, especially the tiki ones. Yeah, here. Or maybe these. So I'm going to close them all together. Now the reason I wanted to show you these two is, first of all, I want this to be blood, but it sure doesn't look like blood. So I'm going to click right here and select it, and then I'm going to double click, and it's going to say, hey, do you want to edit it? And say, yep. Now I know I'm in edit mode. First of all, I can tell right here it says Grime Vector Pack right there. But the other reason I know that I'm in edit mode is this has been darked out, and so I can't accidentally click on that and change it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on this, or single click I should say. Let's go red, or that red, or that red. That's an orange. Oof. Kind of a darker red. I like that red. And I've got it, so I'm going to jump back here. Now what I want you to notice is since I changed it here, it's automatically going to change all the symbols there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one slightly different. So I'm going to click right here and I'm going to break the link to it. And what that's going to do is I'm going to change this and it's going to be my own symbol. And I will still have the black wings if I want to, but I will be creating a new symbol once I'm done with this. So I'm going to double click on that. And I am going to change the color. And I'm going to make it kind of like a orangey, kind of a goldish almost. That's, and obviously if I really wanted to get ugly, ooh, I kind of like that. Ooh, I like that even more. That's my orange gradient, so I think I'm going to keep that up. I'm kind of glad I decided to play with that. Now what I want to do next is I want to add a little bit of a stroke, so I'm going to go black, and it's going to be 1 point. Now watch this little trick. It seems to work really nicely with that version, and I'm going to go like that, maybe 3 point, maybe 2. I think 2 point works really well. And let's click back here. Now I'm going to click on this one, and then I'm going to reuse that orange color. Going to come back over here, use that black, and I'm going to do the, I think it was 2 that we chose. There we go. So now I've got a new set of wings. And now the other thing I can do is I can click on it this way and I can separate the wings a little bit more. Man, I really do like that gradient. I might want to play with that later and make it a little bit lighter through here and darker through there. Now if I wanted to have these wings more like flight, I can click and rotate them. Now what I was thinking about doing, not today, I'm not going to show it to you today, but I'm thinking about doing is redesigning the Sun's logo just for grins. We have a logo assignment, and what I was going to do is try to find a nice little basketball right here and then have like a bird's head, so it'd be like the Thunderbird, or the, not Thunderbird, the Phoenix that comes out of, and maybe have some flames that I can put down here with a basketball on a face of a bird. That'd be really kind of cool looking. And by the way, if anybody wants to steal my idea for that, go for it, especially since we have a logo assignment that we're going to be dealing with. So there, I've got that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both of these, and since I've got my black symbol, now I'm going to go to my new symbol, and I'm going to call this orange wings. And I actually could put a space in there. I don't know why I didn't. But there, I've got my orange wings. I think that's pretty cool. So I've created my own new symbol right here. This is my old one. This is my new one. I know it's the one that I created because of the little icon right there. Now one of the other things is my eyes are not getting as good as they used to be. Actually, they're getting a lot worse. I wish they would make these a little bit bigger so you can get a feel for what they're actually going to be. I mean, I've got plenty of space here. Now, if I was using something like a tablet, I may not necessarily have that. Which, by the way, a tablet is much easier to do Illustrator in than what I've got right now. I'm just using this straight old desktop. So now if I want to use some more wings, I can just drag them over there, and I can resize them just like that. And another thing I could do is I can just select all these and just hit delete because I have them right there. Now I'm going to select a symbol here, and I've got what we call symbol sprayer, and I'm going to make this sprayer. There's a square bracket which is right next to the P. I'm going to click on that a few times to make it smaller. Oh, click on it several times. There we go. That's what the symbol sprayer is doing. Now I typically like that when I find grass or something like that, like nature. Now notice that whenever I have it already selected, this is still going to go to that same symbol. Now if I want to deselect it, I'm going to come over here and then I can start spraying again and it will be part of another symbol group. So if I want to delete these, that's a little too high up, I can do that. Now I don't have to live with the spacing that I've got, so I can do symbol shifter, which is I'm going to just a sec. Symbol shifter, so I can move it around that way. If I want to go the opposite direction, I just hold down the Alt key. So whenever I want to do the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do, I'm not going to squish this in, bring my grass in a little bit. Man, I wish I could do this to my backyard. All I got is dirt right now. The sizer tool. Now this is the one you got to be real careful with because it's so easy to have it explode in size. So if you get something that's way too big, like, oh, that's too big of a weed, I can hold down my Alt key and bring it down in size. I like to select it first and then go down with the Alt key. Oop. Wrong icon. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to drag this over here. Come on. So now I'm going to rotate some of the weeds. Gives you kind of an arrow. Ah, there's a bunch of them. So what you're doing is you're giving yourself some variety so it doesn't look like it has been sprayed. I can change the color and I can add some other stuff to it, but I don't want to get into that, spend too much time. But those are the symbols that you can play around with. And like I said, there are tons of them. Now, if I wanted to do something for like a postcard, obviously I'm going to want to have a little area here for a stamp. And then the back side I could switch it and have just basic information. So if I wanted to do something fun, I probably would want to go Tiki. And there's my Tiki Island. Oh, don't want to use my sprayer symbols anymore. Oh, don't want to edit it. And let's see, what else do I want to add? Oh, gotta have another palm tree. And I can move the order of it in the layer section. So if I want my Tiki to be in front, there we go. And then you can add some text. Now obviously you could put some very boring text and say that ain't how you spell Hawaii. And I can make it a lot bigger. Oop, come here to Papa. Sorry if it's a little jumpy. I've been sneezing for some weird reason. My allergies are giving me some kind of grief. And then obviously I can add some style to it or bend it a little bit. There we go. Click on that. Go lower arch. Uh, and then I can resize it around. And I might want to have a picture of an ocean in the background there. And then I can find a picture of a stamp and just stick a fake stamp right there if I wanted to. But the idea is to do playing around with the layout, and who knows, maybe someday you'll have to design a postcard. This is kind of cool. So these are something that I'm looking for. Obviously, like I said, there's some really beautiful water backgrounds or other islands, and you can put an ocean in the background and then have our little tikis there. Even if it's a real picture, that's kind of cool too. You don't have to make a fake picture. Sometimes mixing them both really looks nice, and sometimes it looks like garbage. That's one of the things that you just kind of gotta choose for yourself. The other thing I was going to look for is I think Tiki had a, there we go, a boat. Nope. Oh, but I do want to play my bongos. You know what? I don't want him anymore. I think he's already got one. Let's go up to here. And then obviously I might want to do some, nope, select, nope, effect, sorry, stylize, drop shadow. Not so far away. Something like that, or up and down. Try to utilize the space as best you can. And I was also thinking, beautiful music of Hawaii or something silly because you got your bongos there. Is that one? No, I already done that one. Don't want that. Oops, could have a martini glass. Let's see if there's anything else that really gets me. Yeah, it really needs a background. Something of the ocean or something like that. But I'll let you do that. And there's tons of different icons you can do in here. There's my. Do I see a boat in there too? Oh, there's just a hut, a mask. Oh, I could use a mask. Could have a little fire too in the background. I might want to break this up later on for my, if I do a sun's logo later on and use that as my fire. Or do the hand or something like that. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to spend any more time on that. So just have some fun with this. Know that you don't have to live with the symbols as they sit here. You can change the colors if you wanted to, just like we did with the wings. And remember, 2 artboards and have some fun. And this will be a really good assignment. Most people have a lot of fun with this unless they do a rushed job and then it looks like garbage, which this is a rushed job. Like I said, a blue background or something like that would be perfect. So take care and have a good one.